Hi Aquarius, welcome to your mid-March 2019 horoscope and astrology reading. So March 20th is a very big day in terms of what's going on astrologically. The sun moves into your third house, bringing you out of security-oriented and rather cautious second house energy. This is going to make you more social, more excitable, more chatty, more adventurous, more out there. And with Venus in your sign still until the 26th, it is a great time to be out there, be seen. We have this amazing supermoon, the first of two in your sector that rules travel. And the ninth house is very wanderlust oriented. So it would be a great time to plan a trip, plan an adventure, or just make a decision that you want to travel more, you want to see more of the world. You can create things with this supermoon that will gain momentum, that will spin quicker, that will enrich your life, thinking about ways to enrich your day-to-day life that are slightly different than the norm. You know, thinking outside the box with how to create the life that you want rather than just the typical things that you think about. You know, when someone asks you what you want out of your life and you think about one or two things that are quite small, think big. This is a very expansive, and it's the first of two, but this is a super moon. So if you're not entirely sure what that is, what that dream is that you want, where you want to go, where you want to live, where you want to see with this world, you know, it would be an interesting month going up into April to think about it. You know, the second full moon is quite different, though they're both in the signs of Libra, which is air energy, which is harmonious with you. On the same day, we do have Mars trining Pluto, and as you know, Aquarius, Pluto is in your sector of what is psychic. And Mars is in the sector that rules the home. So there may be different vibes, different feelings in your house over the next couple of weeks, right up until the end of March. Different feelings, different vibes, just picking up on the energy better and just having a little bit of a beginner's advantage in terms of what is transpiring, because you will probably be really very aware. With Mars in your family sector, you may be making big changes in terms of where you want to move. Mercury retrograding in Pisces, though, as that's financial for you, Aquarius, could be holding you back somewhat. But I tell you, Mercury goes direct on the 28th, and on the 31st of March, we do have Mars going into your romantic sector, your sector of creativity, your sector of fun and adventure. You, Aquarius, will probably come alive at the end of March in a way that you maybe could find hard to temper. And that's fine. Pisces season has been a difficult one for everyone to navigate, but with the extroverted energy coming in for you, you're probably coming out of your shell a little bit. Mars in particular, when it shifts gear on the 31st, is going to bring you some kind of romantic gesture or a creative idea that leads to something abundant. For some of you, you've been having a tough time with your kids. For others of you, your relationships with earth sign people, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, have sort of come into question. For many of you, there's a crush there with the earth signs or an incoming earth sign who's been sort of out of your periphery, off the radar. That's interesting. It's sort of like love comes in from off the radar. It's not really something that you see coming for a lot of you. For others of you, it's a romance that sort of was full steam ahead and then lulled a little bit. There's kind of this impression that something that seems fulfilling has to move to another level in order for it to remain fulfilling, because you can't go at a very linear pace. You can't just stick in the same surroundings with the same energy consistently. Energy has to evolve in order for something to last. Things never stay the same. And as a fixed sign, you can find yourself very obsessive over keeping things where they were, or you can obsess with what the picture is that you feel it should be. Aquarians don't like to think of themselves as stubborn, but they can be stubborn. Six of Cups, Three of Cups, and the Star. And underneath, the Queen of Wands, fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And I sense for a lot of you, you're probably in a relationship with a fire sign because of the Two of Cups here. So what does that tell me, Aquarius, and what does that suggest for the end of March? Romance is a big part of the last couple of weeks. Big part. Particularly, as I say, if it's fire or if it's earth, there's a very, very, very strong energy. To end the reading on the Star card, which is your major arcana, is very important because it means that hope has come back for something that is worth celebrating. The Three of Cups and the Six of Cups is a reunion or a celebration with people you regard as family. It can be either or for different people. For some Aquarians, on a deeper level, Mars being in the 12th, Pluto being in the 12th, Pluto is all about this underbelly, this darkness, embracing the darkness, and to have it in the 12th is kind of different. And depending what decan of Aquarius you're in, it will affect you differently throughout Pluto's journey, but it's bound to hit you at some spots. With Mars trining Pluto, for a lot of you, this is going to feel as though your darkness is being illuminated in a way that brings hope to not just you, but to people around you. Why that is individual. For a lot of you, Aquarians in particular, there's been this sort of momentum recently in the Aquarian readings about beating old habits and beating darkness and that type of thing. And when the devil energy appears, it always means that at least somebody in your individual life, somebody in your environment, and it's more than likely yourself, it's that you have some sort of vice that's holding you back, a crutch that you lean on, something that you rely on that is not coming from within. It's an external source that you rely upon. For some of you, and I hate to say this, Aquarius, but for some of you, it's running away from the very thing that you fear rather than confronting it. For some of you, it's running back home or running back to what's familiar. And Aquarius, it's weird because for a lot of you, I do see romance with a person that is quite practical. They're not overtly asking for these deep emotions to come out of you. They just like you. With the Page of Cups, it can indicate that there is a romantic streak to this person, but the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles always remind me of people that have their own goals, their own achievements, their own ideas, and they really, really, really care about you. In fact, if you're dealing with a fire sign, most commonly you're dealing with somebody who has your best interest at heart and there is mutual affection there. If you're dealing with an earth sign, they are frustrated that emotionally speaking, you're not always on the same page. With the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups and the 3 of Cups, beware of isolating yourself by sticking to a familiar tribe. Sometimes if you're, for example, a single Aquarius that wants to meet somebody new, there's a possibility that people can't get to you because you're being surrounded all the time. And as an independent sign, it's kind of rare, at least I find in day-to-day experience with Aquarians that I know, it is kind of rare to see you guys on your own, if ever. Always kind of surrounded by posses. And that could be preventing you from connecting. It could be that you're choosing friendships over one-on-one intimate relationships. For some of you, there's an unhealthy attachment to the past, and for some, I think it may be basing your relationship on an unrealistic standard. You cannot compare your own to somebody else's in your past or a past relationship, because relationships are quite like snowflakes. No two are the same. The Star card offers you this hope, this excitement with the Three of Cups. It could be, for some of you, it could be a reunion under Mercury retrograde. And the Six of Cups kind of says about past relationships, and there may be some sort of celebration there. Could also be closure. But the Six of Cups is always this warm energy. The Devil's different. The devil is the unhealthy part. Something that you're carrying with you into the next part of your journey as a vice or a crutch. And for a lot of you, for some reason, I just think it could be friends. You know? For others of you, it's weird because it's keeping your friends close and your enemies closer. The devil is in the detail. Queen of Wands, Two of Cups. Somebody who's exciting. Somebody who is passionate. Somebody who is quite magical in their approach to living. They always have something to talk about. They always have an interest or a passion that you could learn more about. Even if you think you've already heard it all before, the Queen of Wands you rarely have. And it could be somebody quite superstitious. Or for a lot of you, there could be superstitions ruling your decision making, Aquarius. Keeping a lot of things in the dark or disconnecting yourself from your past to an unhealthy level. The past in this reading is somewhat unhealthy. It's either an attachment or a detachment. Either way, it's problematic. If you're dealing with an earth sign, with Uranus switching into Taurus, it's funny because Taurus rules the throat and my throat is going as I'm speaking about this. With the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Swords, Uranus moving into Taurus means that if you're dealing with an earth sign, they have romantic intentions, but they're tired of something. And you're probably considering whether or not you should go away from this and move on from this. The answer is that if they are a Capricorn, you probably will be moving forward together. Even if it's a Taurus or Virgo, I'm not ruling that out. It's just that the devil can rule Capricorn. It's just that there's that unhealthy level of this. For some of you, you're probably checking into your rehab facility, or you have someone in your personal life who is. Your personal relationships are coming very strongly into focus. We had that supermoon, Aquarius, in January in your partnership sector. And since then, the energies have all focused on intimate relationships. The Virgo supermoon, that 8th house energy, again, intimate relationships. And what a beautiful moon that was. So beautiful even. So if you're dealing with an earth sign or a fire sign or even a water sign, there's this beautiful connection that is very hard to ignore. Comparison to the past will lead you down a very dangerous path though. Three of Cups and the Star, there's something worth celebrating, a reunion maybe. For a lot of you it's a delightful reunion, so I don't know who it would be. Could be romantic. In my experience, I've seen the Six of Cups and the Three of Cups come up side by side before, and it always means hearing from somebody you haven't heard from in a while. It's not always the person you think it's going to be. For a lot of you, it could be a fellow Aquarian, actually, or somebody quite free-spirited, somebody quite unique, somebody quite eclectic. I've seen the devil come up for people who repeat the same thing over and over and over and expect different results. The reason they repeat it is because they don't know any other way. And it's being chained to an idea or a theory. And as difficult and annoying as meditation sounds, because a lot of the time people don't want an answer or advice if it means they have to do something themselves. But meditation will take the edge off any unhealthy emotions you have. I'm not saying it's going to solve them, but at least take the edge off. Because on the other side of this Devil card, if you do this journey, if you do this little thought process, you consider things differently. You're moving towards a 6 of Cups, 3 of Cups moment. You see things differently, and it's important. When Mars moves into your 5th house, it's a very wonderful time to connect, and Venus will have exited and moved into Pisces. And Venus in the 2nd is actually, Aquarius, one of the best times for a fixed sign to meet somebody, because it offers stability and security. And it's giving this romantic perspective that Mercury was creating all this drama for. Mercury was creating all these problems for. And now Venus is going to slip in and be like, I've got this. I'm going to fix this. I know what romance is. I'm feeling romantic. I have things to do. I have ideas to put. And with Venus in your 2nd house, steady connections will be favored. If you don't want that, and I know this is very, very romantically oriented. It just looks like a romantic reading to me. There's something in the last 3 days or so. I assume it's to do with the Mars-Gemini aspect, but there is something worth celebrating as we go into April. Where you get this glimmer of hope that you know how supported you are. The supermoon possibly reunites you with something or someone that has a part in your future that you didn't expect. I'm not saying that's an ex, because I've seen Mercury retrograde throw up a lot of people for others who are and never were romantically involved. So, in fact, the 3 of Cups is oftentimes a friendship more than anything, but it can mean the reunion. So I'm going to draw some Goddess guidance cards. Oops. Let's see what comes up for Aquarius. Aphrodite. Inner goddess. See what this says. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. Inner goddess, that's so telling. Fertility and leap of faith. Okay. Something is beginning. Look underneath. Something is blossoming. For a lot of you, this is love. For a lot of you, it's romance. For a lot of you, it is doing the work to progress with a relationship, putting faith in this person and putting your faith into love in general and seeing the results of that, seeing why you needed to keep hope alive and embrace the inner devils. The best way to deal with this unhealthy attachment or this unhealthy behavior, for oftentimes the devil rules our thoughts and our inner demons. The best way to combat that is to find a new way or a new perspective of dealing with it. And maybe the fire sign has an idea of how. You're moving forward with something. For some of you, you're reuniting with something. And it's all designed because it's in your destiny. The star card always means that something has a touch of fate to it. It doesn't always play out the way you expect it to, but there's a really lovely energy here. I actually think a lot of you are going to be pleasantly surprised by what happens at the end of March. I say that sincerely because the 3 of Cups and 6 of Cups at least will leave you with this warm, fuzzy feeling. And with the star, it awakens hope. Okay? So it's worth holding on to that hope. That full moon, super moon could be really beautiful for you, Aquarius. 6 of Cups, it's bear in mind, it's that soulmate energy. It can be people you've known supposedly in past lives and you reunite with them and the spark just goes like that. So I think you're going to really enjoy it, whatever it is for each of you. And I think it's something that will give you this glimmer of hope in the darkness. And you're going to feel that spring energy. That something new is beginning. because you don't lack in feeling, you just love connecting with the mind. And if, as I say, if you're dealing with a fire sign or any sign, you may find a love that involves friendship more than anything else. And that's the first thing. Friendship and attraction is somebody that's right for you. So love you guys. I'll see you in the April reads. Bye.